I'm going to show you how to make pork rinds so good that even people that don't like pork rinds are going to be asking you for more. These pork rinds are going to turn out crispy and crunchy, but yet they're going to be very light and airy. These are nothing like the bagged pork rinds you're going to get at the store. I'm Mike with Ozark Homesteading Chronicles, and today we're going over the #1 requested recipe that we have from everybody around here. Stick around to the end of the video, and I'm going to show you the unexpected use we've ended up finding that's a perfect use for these pork rinds as well. If you've been looking to make pork rinds online, you've probably seen a lot of ways you can make them, whether that's going to be microwaving, air frying, baking, deep fat frying. I'm going to tell you there's only one way I think to make a pork rind, and that is deep fat fried. We tried the others, they did not come out near as good. And when we're looking at deep frying these, you absolutely want to use your animal fat. So that's going to be either tallow or lard. I personally believe those are a good fat for us, and you want to avoid any of the seed oils. Now when it comes to tallow versus lard, man, it's a pig. Do it in lard. I know some people like tallow, but I like the flavor of the lard with these pork rinds. And again, it's a pork rind, so just cook it in lard. To get this final pork rind, what you're going to start with is a pork rind pellet. These are going to be very hard. I pretty much can't break this without really going. It is dried. I get these from Rudolph Foods. Eventually, we'd like to make pork rind pellets from our own hogs, but right now it's just so easy to get them from them. And these come anywhere from a 10 to 60 pound bag. So let's get started and I'll show you how these turn into these. You don't need a complicated system to make pork rinds. We're looking at just having some sort of pot or anything that you can get some grease hot in, and some sort of pan where you can throw the pork rinds on, let the grease drain off, and then get some seasoning on them. So what we found is these vegetable strainers are the best way to put over the pork rinds when you put them in here, and that's going to keep them submerged and makes a real nice way to crisp them up even faster. What I look at doing is getting my oil to anywhere between 365 and 385. On lard, if you get above 385, it's going to start smoking, so that's why I try not to go above it. And if you start getting cooler at the 350, you end up with harder pork rinds. They're not going to get as puffy and airy in there. And even though we want the crisp, we don't want it to have that dense texture on the pork rinds. I use a infrared thermometer to give me my temperatures on this. This is the best way by far to get your temperature. You can use one of these instant reads, but then I find that I'm sticking it down there in the grease, and this is just a lot faster option for me. I have a timer handy, and you're going to be shocked when we put these in. You need 30 seconds or less to get these done. It is, if you blink, you miss it on how fast these pork rinds go up. When we get the 10-pound bag of pork pellets, we just individually wrap them in the 1-gallon bags from the Ziploc bags. So think of your pork pellets just like popcorn. All it takes is a few, and those pop up into a huge amount. So we use a small amount here. I'm going to put these in. Since I'm going to go back and forth with this, I'm not going to put this actually in the grease. I'm just going to drop these in. Use all metal tongs. And give it just a nice stir. We want to wait until all of these get just puffed up just a little bit so they don't go on the side of this strainer. That's perfect. Drop that down, hit our timer, and then we just wait the 30 seconds. If you've got enough grease in here, most of the time you don't even have to push down much on this, but you'll see this starting to rise a little bit as all the pork rinds puff up. If you do decide to push down on it, I don't just hold down, I'll kind of bounce it a little bit so that way they don't stay really compressed underneath there. And this is the best way to get them out. So I'm going to have this ready to go. When this timer goes off, we're just going to scoop them right on out. Look at all this pork goodness. Let them strain down just a little bit. These turned out really good. There's just a couple we're going to put back here in the back. Now, any of these that are real dark, if you wanted to, you could put them back in the oil and that will puff them up. I find as inexpensive as these pellets are, it's just easier just to keep everything moving and not try to cook individual ones more. This is my custom cheesy garlic blend. I make all of our own spices, and eventually we're gonna have these where anybody can get them. If you go check the description in the future, once we have that available, you'll be able to purchase all of our spices. For now, you can blend up any of your own spices, or another one that we found for a brand is the Pork King Good. This will give you a nice spice that's gonna be mostly healthy for you compared to a lot of them you see online. When you season up pork rinds, you're going to be surprised how much the pork rinds are going to soak up the flavors. So you're going to put more seasoning on than you'd really think that you would need to on these. And then what I like to do is just flip these over. We're going to hit them with the seasoning one more time. These are going to go in our tubs. We're going to make 2 of these. Now, I know it's customary to wait till the end of the video to show the sampling on this, but we got a lot of these to cook and there's no way I'm going to be able to wait. So check this out for crunch. Absolutely perfect. All right, Karen, why don't you come on over here and help me?
Okay. Besides the camera lady on the snack.
So the bottleneck is always going to be in the seasoning on this. This is where Karen comes in. I'm going to start frying these, and she'll just continue to go through and do all the seasoning.
And sample.
And sample. If you'd like to get any of the items we use today to make these pork rinds, check the description below. I'm going to have links to all of them, and it's a great way for you to support our channel and keep everything growing. All right, I threw one off and it ended up in the flame. So this is why I keep these gloves handy. These are the best gloves for dealing with anything hot, also being easy to clean.
Is there anything left of it?
There wasn't much left of it, but I still wanted to go ahead and get it off there so it wouldn't go any worse. Most people think of pork rinds as a snack, and they are a great snack, and especially if you're eating potato chips, stop eating potato chips and definitely switch over to these healthy homemade pork rinds. But they do so much more than just snacks. If you're on a carnivore or keto diet, they can be a scoop for any of your dips. I even use these as taco shell replacements when we have tacos. If you put the pork rinds in a food processor or blender and grind them down, they make a great breading for any of your meats or your crust. You can use them for binders for meatloafs or meatballs. Karen even makes a great carnivore cracker out of them. You can also crumble them on top of soups, stews, casseroles. There's so many ways that you can use pork rinds. Guys, it's just that easy. In about 20 minutes, Karen and I made 2 piles of pork rinds. This will last us the entire week, plus all of our friends coming around and snacking. I really hope you give this a try, because once you do, you're never going to go back to potato chips or any other style of snack. Oh, and I almost forgot. I promised you to let you know what we do with the extra pork rinds that we didn't season up. Follow me, and I'll show you what we do with these. All right, guys, who wants a dog treat? Can we see it? Can we see? Oh, that's a good bit. All right, and Daisy, would you like one too? All right, very good. So dog treats are expensive, and a lot of times the dog treats just really aren't even that healthy. This is a great way to use the pork rinds that weren't the best for us. You can see the dogs absolutely love them, and we know it's going to be a healthy snack for them as well. You guys need another one? One more? Okay. Can you see it? Okay. Okay, go, Daisy. Okay, here you go, Mouse. All right, good dogs.